Okay, Troy, we're back with another exciting edition of Rookie Deep Dive, where we're on a quest to actually learn about these guys and not just make judgments on how good rookies are based on how much their young guns cost. Admit it, we've all done that, right? We've all
Yep.
gotten excited about a guy not knowing really anything. It's like, oh, his young guns is worth $40. He must be good. So each week, Troy, we scour the rookie scoring leaderboard to find 4 new candidates to learn more about. We present those candidates for your vote by an Instagram poll, and then we do a deep dive on the winner. We'll get to this week's candidates in a second, but to recap the 2023-24 rookies we've covered so far: Matthew Nyes, Luke Hughes, Devin Levi, Matthew Coronado, Dustin Wolf came in to the game against the Wild last night.
Yep.
Ridley Gregg, Marco Rossi, Matthew Poitras, Pavel Minchukov, and Brant Clark. So this week, Troy, we had 4 candidates: Brock Faber, Dmitry Voronikov, who's sneaking up the rookie scoring leaderboard,
Yep.
Kevin Korchinski, and Bobby Brink. Just leaving Bobby Brink on there till
come
maybe
on.
someday. Maybe someday, Bobby. Chris
Yep.
Minnetonka. Kind of a landslide. Remember last week, I
Yep.
think was really close. This one, Brock Faber totally stole the show, getting 48% of the vote. Nobody cares about Voronkov. 8%, Korchinski at 15%, and then Bobby Brink came in at second at 30%. So that, Troy, makes this week's Rookie Deep Dive subject our own Brock Faber.
All right, here we go.
He's a 21-year-old defenseman for our Minnesota Wild who originally hails from Maple Grove, Minnesota. 6'1", 200 pounds, right-handed shot defenseman. Brock was the 45th overall pick in the 2020 NHL entry draft by the LA Kings. Prior to being drafted, Faber spent the 2019-20 season playing for the U.S. National Development Team. And then he was originally committed to Notre Dame.
Oh, boo.
To play college hockey. But don't worry, Troy. He came to his senses and ended up suiting up for, yes, the maroon and gold.
There you go.
Born in Minnesota, raised in Minnesota, went to college in Minnesota, and now plays for Minnesota.
Yeah, good Minnesota.
All right, people, we're going to go all nutty here and drive you all crazy with our being obnoxious in our Minnesota glory here. Yeah, here he is with beautiful colors, maroon and gold. Row the boat. Sky Yama, go Gophers. Faber would end up spending 3 years in Dinky Town, Troy, playing for our maroon and gold. In his 3 college seasons, he scored only 7 goals, but added 46 assists for 53 points in 97 games played. He was named to the All Big Ten freshman team in 2021, All Big Ten first team in 2022 and 2023. He was the Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year in both 2022 and 2023 as well. And then in 2023, named to an AHCA West First Team All-American. What the heck is that?
No, that's not right. That has to be AHCA is the club league. That's like where the club teams play.
Oh, I don't know.
I think
it's in Wikipedia, and everything's right in Wikipedia.
So. Everything is right. Yeah, it's
scratch that.
Yeah, that's like I'm pretty sure that's where like the club teams, like Iowa State has. It's American Hockey.
Yeah.
No. Maybe you're looking at American Hockey Coaches Association. That's another
age. Yeah.
There's the American Collegiate Hockey Association, which is where all the club teams. And now I'm going to go on a rant. There's a podcast out there about AHCA teams and that college hockey. It is fantastic. And the videos about this stuff. If you watch like a North Carolina, like University of North Carolina has a hockey team. They play in this AHCA. It is awesome. The crowd is crazy. They're rowdy. They sell out their little arena. It's really, really cool. Yeah.
That's cool.
AHCA hockey is no joke. And the Gophers do have, I think, club teams that probably play in this. I'm pretty sure they do.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah. But I bet you probably looked up the hockey college coaches or whatever.
I just looked up his awards, and that was one of them that was listed. And then I didn't look up what AHCA
that's
was.
Gotta be
American Hockey Coaches Association.
Yeah.
Okay. He was also named captain of our Golden Gophers. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see the big C on his chest there for the 2022-23 season. Even though he's drafted by the Kings, though, Troy, his time was never meant to be in LA because when the Wild decided that we don't need goals, assists, or Kevin Fiala, we shipped Fiala away to the Kings and got back a first rounder plus the rights for Brock Faber. Then, following the Golden Gophers' soul-crushing loss to Quinnipiac in the national championship game last spring, The Wild signed Faber on April 9th, and he joined the team just in time for the Wild's soul-crushing first-round playoff exit. But he's from Minnesota, so he knows, right?
Yeah, he knows what he's in
This
for.
is fate in life. He did play well in a short stint with the team, worked very hard during the summer, a lot was made of that, and did make the Wild out of training camp. The coaches, whether you go back to Dean Evison, who was here before, and now to John Hines, the GM, Billy Guerin, they have gushed over this kid like endlessly. I think they all want to like adopt him or something. They have lauded how comfortable he's been, how mature he's been on the ice, that he looked like a 10-year vet the day he stepped out for his first shift, all those sort of cliches that they throw out left and right. He has been paired though this season with Jonas Brodin, and that's their kind of a top pairing, I guess, and that they typically take on the opponent's best line players or top lines. Now, Faber is known more as a defensive stalwart than an offensive producer, but the team has been working with him and pushing him to utilize his offensive abilities a little bit more. That's one change that new Wild coach John Hines has made as he's moved Faber to the power play, which is kind of crazy, Troy, because even when Faber was with the Gophers for almost 100 games, he never once played on the power play.
Wow.
He's just always been that kind of shutdown defender kind of guy. Another change Hines has made is encouraging like quick zone exits for defenders, also joining the rush a lot, and taking chances offensively. And so who knows, Troy? Whereas Faber has built, like I said, his reputation as a stalwart defender, there might be some more offensive upside for him
Mhm.
down the road. And many will point to his excellent skating and hockey mind as reasons that could happen, and maybe a little more offensive output. On the season, Faber has scored 1 goal, added 9 assists for 10 points in 23 games played. So that puts him, Troy, 15th on the rookie scoring leaderboard. Kind of a logjam, though, as like
Yeah.
10 of the top 15 rookies have between 10 and 13 points. So consider that. And then looking at the hobby perspective, I think you have to measure the investing side of your brain at this point, because we just know that great defensive defensemen that don't still fill up the stat sheet get zero hobby love.
Yep.
And like the whole maybe offensive side of Faber's game is like very new, as in weeks. This is not the pedigree that you typically
Yep.
look for. And so I think as a collector, he's would be a good buy, of course, and someone that would be fun to collect. He seems like he's going to have a very long career. He's already basically elevated to the top defensive spot after what 25 games in his
Yeah.
career. I was at our local card shop today too, buying a box of SP Game Used, and I was asking them a little bit about who people are asking about from the Wild, and everyone in the shop was like Faber, Faber, Faber,
Mm.
right? Because he's the local kid, and even more so than Marco Rossi or Matt Boldy, who still has rookie cards coming out. That
Yeah.
here, anyways, everyone kind of wants to get their Faber cards. So, do you think we lucked out in getting this kid, Troy? You think he's as good as advertised, or as people are gushing about?
Well, I mean, if they like him this much, I guess so. I haven't seen him play enough to make a judgment, but I'll take him for now.
Brock Faber's a 2023-24 Series 1 Young Guns. To date, Troy, there have been 0 sales of a Faber Young Guns PSA 10,
Hmm.
which got me curious. I actually did a PSA Pop Report search, and apparently none have been graded or have completed grading. I can't
Okay.
imagine none have been sent
Well,
to graded. Also did a player search as well just to cover my bases and couldn't find anything. Raw cards, though, so far there have been 515 Faber Young Guns that have sold on the secondary markets. His base Young Guns right now selling around $10 US on average. It was averaging about $6 a few weeks ago, so we're seeing a little bit of a bump there. And biggest sale to date for Faber is an Outburst Red Young Guns out of 25 that sold for
ooh.
$400 US on October 24th via eBay and verified as paid in Terapeak.
Mhm.
So there you have it, Troy.
Hmm.
Brock Faber, rookie deep dive. You learn anything?
I learned that his Outburst Red is 40 times this rock card. That's pretty interesting.
We've mentioned
Now,
this before about other people too, or other players on the Wild,
yeah.
but if you go to the Wild's YouTube channel, if you want to learn more about Brock Faber, they had a really great episode. I think they call him Becoming Wild.
Yeah.
They're about 20 minutes long, so I would recommend that to anyone that's interested in learning more about Faber.